All right. So we're live. And happy Tuesday. It is the 19th of May, 2020. Still in COVID right now. You can see my hair is getting longer and longer. But tell you what, I've actually gone and purchased clippers, scissors, all the things that you need um, to cut your own hair. And I've actually started watching YouTube videos. So stay tuned. If you watch in the next couple weeks, my hair might be done. Um, So let me know in the comments where you are coming from, and let me know how you're feeling as well. Scale of 1 through 5 today. 5 being best, 1 feeling like complete garbage. And I will address your questions. But today we're going to talk about how to think about business in general, because I know a lot of people are starting out, or a lot of people want to get to the next level. And a lot of conversations I've been having with people have been around, hey, I want to be able to leverage my business. Let's say I have an e-commerce business, or let's say I have a services business, and I want to leverage it to the next level. I want to level it up. And some people, they just want to stay the same. So some people they're like, yeah, I have a great cash flow business, and it fits my lifestyle. It allows me to, work whenever I want. It allows me to have free time, and that's fine. And some people want to be more aggressive. They want to continue to grow their team. They want to continue to grow their revenues, and that's fine too. So this is more for those people. So I think mindset wise, you have to look at it as, if you're going to build any business at all, you can't be like, oh, look at this $200 million business. Look at this $300 million business. I just want to go and I want to build that, because the elephant's too big, right? What do they say? You have to eat it one piece at a time. So what you have to look at it then is, people, I think it was Eric Schmidt of Google that told Marissa Mayer that, hey, like, if you're going to get on a rocket ship, it doesn't matter what seat. And at that time, Google was a rocket ship already. They're already blowing up. Now, what I would say is, before you can launch a rocket into space, you kind of have to have a launch pad. And so I was reading a tweet yesterday by Andrew Wilkinson from Tiny, and I love that concept. And that's fundamentally, that's the best way to look at business. Because if you think about Amazon, what do they start with? They started as a bookstore. They sold books, the world's largest bookstore first. And then they just kept getting bigger and bigger. And then they just kept redeploying cash. Now they have AWS. Now they sell everything. One of the world's biggest affiliate programs. And they also have Amazon ads as well. There's Amazon Fresh. They bought Whole Foods. So they if you think about it, Jeff Bezos is a pretty damn good investor. He just keeps redeploying the cash and just keeps growing the pie. Forget about profits. Now, but he had to have Amazon as a bookstore first to be the launching pad to have the rocket ship that he has right now. Now, similarly, you look at Apple. They started with the Macintosh first, right? Was it the Macintosh? At least it was just one computer. Let's just put it that way. Before they even thought about the iMacs, before they even thought about iPads, before they even thought about iTouch, iPhone, iPods, all these different things, right? So you got to have a launch pad first before you can take it to the next level. So Roxolana is a 4. So glad that you're feeling a 4 out of 5. Hello, Bree. How's it going? So guys, drop in the comments. Let me know what where you're coming from also, and then let me know also how you're feeling. So, and also hit the like button, leave a comment as well, because no matter where you watch from, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, the like button helps. Okay, now if you're saying, oh, I can't go build a computer, I cannot go build a bookstore, I'm not tech savvy or anything like that. You don't need to be tech savvy necessarily. Like, when I look at the reason I took over my agency, Single Grain, was not because I wanted to do an agency. In fact, I wanted to stay away from agency as far as I could, because I thought I was like, oh, I worked in tech, I work in software, I'm so cool, I'll never do an agency. But when I reframed my mindset, when I rewired my mindset, and I was like, if I can make the agency work, I can use that as a launch pad to do everything else that I'm doing. So if you look at the things that we're working on right now, we have the agency, we have events that are tied to the Marketing School podcast, we have the Marketing School podcast itself, it drives advertising, and we have the software business, ClickFlow, and those are, and also we have other projects working within Single Grain, and also we're building an education program within Marketing School. So there's a lot of leverage that we've built by using the Launchpad. But without having to Launchpad first, without using the revenues to drive it into all these other projects, I wouldn't have been able to get started because I would have been trying to think too big, and that would have exhausted me. And instead of thinking about chapter 25, I can take it one step at a time, maybe get to level 1 to level 2 to level 3 to level 4. So thinking about it that way makes it a lot more manageable. So that's why I think services businesses are like agencies, even coaching, consulting type businesses are great for most people to start. Now, if you have an e-commerce business, let's say you're doing drop shipping, maybe that's your Launchpad, but maybe the next step is to hold your own, carry your own inventory and, increase your margins. And then from there, you decide what you want to do next with your e-commerce business. I remember I was talking to a guy a couple weeks ago on the podcast. He started out with a coaching business, or it was a coaching business to help people get fit. And then he leveled it up to another coaching business. And it was another coaching business to teach those people how to like start their own business, right? And you might be thinking, oh my God, that's a pyramid scheme, whatever. And, I used to think that way about just kind of coaches. And I think a lot of coaches, you're probably thinking, why should you be a coach? That's fair. But there's a lot of valid coaches out there that are doing great things, that are, doing great for themselves. So you have to respect that. So Evan's coming from Santa Cruz. Hello, Evan. Thank you for living. Thank you for living. Thank you for loving these live sessions. Jose is coming from Sacramento. Coming from Boston. Shmuel's feeling like a 5. That's great. Hello, N. But hello, everyone. Yeah, just keep, by the way, guys, keep leaving comments, keep liking it. I want this to spread. I want to see how far this can really spread when I actually ask for the likes and comments. That's actually an experiment with these, because these actually go to the podcast. So I don't mind doing these simulcast and, kind of spreading the knowledge that way. So let's see. Asim says, so there's some questions in here. I'm going to read these questions in a second. Hello, Rosh. I'm going to read Phantom's questions and Asim's questions in 1 second, but I want to come back to my point for a second. So if you think about it, if you're getting started right now, there's so much free material. Let's say you're coming out of college. You don't want to go back to your final year of college and you just want to take matters into your own hands. Okay, great. There's a lot of information out there. There's free information. You can listen to Marketing School podcast. You can listen to this YouTube channel or the Leveling Up podcast, whatever. But there's also a lot of great people teaching you how to do e-commerce or teaching you how to build an agency. And by the way, if you want to learn how to build an agency, go to, well, it depends. But I have this. If you have an agency already, singlegrain.com/chat to grow your agency faster, right? But if not, go to singlegrain.com/agency-accelerator. I'll make sure to put that link in next time. But point is, you can start with e-commerce. Not hard to do it. Shopify account, drop ship. Okay, that's an easy place to start. Take some money from saving. In fact, try to get a refund from your last year of college and deploy it. It's your little seed round, right? And then see if that works out for you. Or go down the consulting route. Oh my God, I don't know. I want to learn marketing, but I don't have the skills right now. It's a catch-22. Okay, that's fair. So reach out to people, work for free. I keep saying it over and over. Work for free. That's how I got started. I worked for free for this company called Snack Nation. It used to be called Human Healthy Vending. Now they do really well. They were doing 0 at the time, and they hired 12 interns. Good for them. And I worked for free, but I learned a ton too. So, and then people notice you then, and then you get hired for a real job because you actually have some experience. You just need a little bit of experience, and then you get hired, and then you can start doing your consulting thing. Post if you want to become a good marketer, go to marketerhire.com. Okay, you can post on Upwork as well. That's how I got started doing consulting. I was making, I think, $25 or $30 an hour on Upwork, and then this guy offered me a job. The guy I was working for offered me a job for, I think, like $250,000 and like a 5% profit share. I didn't want to move to Philly because I don't like the Eagles. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, but stuff like that. Little Launchpad first, whether it's coaching, consulting, or e-commerce, and then you can level up and you get stronger and stronger and stronger. So I love that concept a lot, and I think a lot of people right now are just like I hear people sometimes too. They'll be like, "Yeah, I really want to start this business. I think it's going to do $200 million in the next 2 years." I think for the vast majority of people, it's not like that. You can't just build a rocket ship immediately. It takes time to build a rocket ship. I mean, I'm looking at even Peloton. I'm just looking at my bike over here. Look, they started with the bike first. Tesla started with high end first. Peloton started with the bike. Then they came out with the treadmill. Now they're going to come out with a low cost offer, and that's actually a lesson there in itself. You go higher cost first, and then you try to cater to the broader market. Now, sometimes bottoms up might be better. There's different strategies here to go with, right? But just keep that in mind. Like in the beginning, you want to focus, make it work, make one thing work first before you start to diversify. And a lot of people ask me right now, the people that go through the agency coaching program, the agency accelerator, they say, Eric, I want to do exactly what you're doing, which is yes, we're creating a lot of content. Okay, it creates a little mini brand for us. And at the same time, we get to work on these other projects, and we get to use the agency as a launchpad, as a platform. And then that actually affords us more freedom and opportunity when the other projects work. And then we can actually free up the agency to focus on more scalable opportunities and then we can kind of choose who we want to work with and be ultra selective, right? So everything, what did they say? A rising tide lifts all the boats, right? So that's what you're ultimately trying to do when you build this launchpad. Then you put the rocket ship on top, and you just keep shooting rocket ships up. That's what you do. That's what it is. It's a launchpad, all right? So that, again, Andrew Wilkinson tweeted that out yesterday. I thought it's great. And by the way, he does that as well. If you look at Tiny, which is his portfolio, it's I don't want to call it private equity, but what he does is he does buy businesses. So in a sense, I guess it is. But he takes the cash flow from his he has a design and dev shop. I think it's a design and dev shop, but they do great in terms of profits. And what they do is they just redeploy that into buying other businesses. Because if you think about it, if you actually know what you're doing, let's say you're a good marketer, you know what you're doing already. You have some type of audience. Let's just take us, for example. Okay, we have some type of audience. If we just go out there and we buy other products or services and we plug them into our audience, it's supposed to work. That's just how it is. And if you look at Kylie Cosmetics, you build a brand, okay, that's her launchpad, and then you plug things in after. Okay, even Dan Bilzerian, he's built his brand around, yes, there's a lot of bikini models around him, and all the men follow him, but he launched, these CBD lines or all these other products, right? So that's another example of doing launchpads. I just gave you a bunch of examples. So that's how it works. That's the concept. That's the mindset. I would encourage you to reframe your mindset. Instead of thinking about building the rocket ship first, you got to build the launchpad. All right. So here's some questions. My local genie says, I love the Marketing School podcast. Thank you for that. Ezzy asked, how can I start an agency with English-speaking countries, clients from Argentina? I would offer to small businesses what I learned in a Facebook ads course. Yeah, I mean, I would just recommend you reach out to you would make a dream 100 of the clients that you want to work with in America. Reach out to all of them. Say, hey, I'll do a free Facebook audit of your account. And if it looks good, I'll work for you. Excuse me, I'm about to sneeze. But I will work for you for 14 days, 21 days. And if we hit X result, then I want to negotiate a longer term agreement. Maybe people right now want to do month to month. Okay, you kind of have to, be okay with that because these are the times that we live in. So that's that. Hello, Sumitra, coming in from India. Asim asked, this might sound naive, but I have a suggestion. You should do an episode where you should define branding, lead generation, demand generation, and what channels, activities should we leverage for all these. The ironies, that's actually a really good idea. Asim, I think we're probably going to take that for marketing school, which is this Friday. Neil and I will be recording live at 10 a.m. Pacific. So we will do that. And that's Phantom says, what sort of credentials and micro degrees should we get to get an entry-level marketing job in PPC? So you have the Google certifications that you can take. There's the Facebook certifications that you can take as well. I believe that's harder, but I would get the Google ones as first. And then you can there's HubSpot certifications you can get as well. So there's a lot of these certifications out there. I think those are the ones that come to mind immediately. And just start there first. And then again, offer to work for free for these people. And then, from there, I would just caveat that with saying, hey, I'm going to work for free for you for 14 to 21 days or maybe for a month or so. But I do want to come back to the negotiating table. And, I want to be paid for the work that I'm doing. All right. So anyway, I hope that helps. Before you think about the rocket ship, build the launchpad first. Once you get the launchpad stable, then you can think about launching rockets into space. Then you can build other rockets and launch them up, right? You also have to make sure that if you're running a business and you're doing that, you have to continually drive alignment with your teams, because what's going to happen is the people that help you build the launchpad, they might be jealous of the fact that you're building these other rocket ships. So you have to constantly communicate saying, hey, this is the plan. This is the overall vision. This is how you fit in, and nobody's going to be left behind, because it's not like one business is better than the other one. In fact, the launchpad is the foundation. So it's really important. And then you just have to communicate it to them so they don't feel like they're being left out. They don't feel like they are second fiddle. Okay. So you have to make that very apparent to them. And so maybe I'll talk about this in another video, but it's super important that you get to the point where you're over communicating and you feel like you're being annoying. And at that point, you still probably need to do it a little more, because then you're really driving it into people's heads, because people forget quickly too. People are so busy, they forget. Like, all I know is the weeks go by so quickly. Everything's blended in now, and some people are tired. I mean, you're in Zoom meetings all day, so you have to empathize with where people are at, and that's where you have to come from as a leader. All right, so that's that, and then Sumitra says, I'm based in India. I'm wondering what the perception of India-based marketing agencies are in the United States. Funny enough, Neil Patel has a India agency. So he has multiple agencies for Neil Patel Digital. And I think that's more of a question for him. I don't know. I've never really worked with an Indian agency. I would guess that most American clients would want to work with people that are in America or English speaking. And the other thing I would say is, I think if you're doing an Indian agency, you should probably be targeting people in your area, just because it makes more sense. And once the lockdowns end and everything, people, maybe when things get back to normal, and maybe like a year and a half or 2 years when people are meeting more, proximity matters a lot when you're doing any type of agency or coaching, consulting business. Like, the more you meet with people, you find that the longer you extend the relationship and the higher the account values actually get. All right. So keep that in mind. All right. So that is it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please leave a comment, rate, review, subscribe, also like as well. And we will see you next week. Next week, Tuesday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific. I'm going to continue to do these lives, and my hair will continue to get longer unless my stuff arrives by then. Until then, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and see you later.